Hey everyone, this is Tony, Dungeon Master for D&D Raw, and before we begin, I wanted to talk about the fantastic folks over at Tabletop Loot. They're a couple who sell and ship all sorts of loot, from t-shirts, mugs, tote bags, and most importantly, so many beautiful dice. We got to spend some time with these awesome folks at Gen Con this year, and you really need to check them out. Right now, you can go to tabletoploot.com and input the promo code RAW, R-A-W, in order to get 15% off any dice that you order from them. We've started using some of their orange sherbet dice during our games, but they have so many other amazing dice to choose from. Definitely check out tabletoploot.com. Use the promo code RAW to get 15% off all dice on their website. Well, thank you so much for listening, and thank you, Tabletop Loot. Also, don't forget, if you want access to behind-the-scenes content while earning our undying gratitude, we would be thrilled if you can support us on Patreon. So please check us out at patreon.com/DNDRaw. Next, I wanted to give a shout out to all of our iTunes reviewers for the past couple of weeks. First, I wanted to thank JT Raptor 777. Really appreciate it. Actually, I do listen to Sneak Attack quite a bit. I do enjoy it. Also, JT Raptor, we do work really, really hard to keep things down. Some of us have struggled more than others to refrain from cursing during the podcast, and we definitely wanted to keep things on the PG-ish rating. So thank you so much for your kind words. And I'd also like to thank Van Joel 3141. Thank you so much. We spent months initially trying to make sure the world makes sense, and then, hours editing, honestly, for each episode. And the players really love getting to jump into this world and play and actually help to make the world itself. And we just, honestly, we love what we do. We actually really enjoy doing this, and we're really glad that other people like you can enjoy this podcast. And I thank you so much for your kind words. We always appreciate these reviews. And thank you both so much. And thank you all to all of our iTunes reviewers. We do this because we love it, and we hope that you do too. Finally, I'd like to again thank all of our adventure tier and higher patrons for all of their support on this. We really appreciate a Linux fan, Darqueezy, and Roy for all of the support you've been giving us. We always appreciate everything you've done for us. And I mean, we do this because we love it, and we appreciate all the support we get, and all the support that you give us helps to fund this podcast and helps to keep us going. So again, thank you so much to all of our patrons for all of the support. Anyway, on to episode 6 of Rumble Squad. Stealth Mule. With me today are the following players.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm playing Leuven Cromdell, the half-elf alchemist artificer.
Hey, I'm Jane. I will be playing Nissa Turin, the gnome arcane trickster rogue.
Hi, I'm Chris, and I will be playing Org Fireforge, the Dwarven Forge Cleric.
Hey, I'm Rachel, and I will be playing Elean Fox, the human druid barbarian.
Last time, the party reunited as they debated what to do about the mysterious four-armed figure that Leuven saw. After taking some time to speak with Celisar, the party discovered that her shop had been searched by someone. It was then that they knew they needed to go and find Avelios, since he is the only other alchemist anywhere nearby, and see if his place had been searched as well, or if he was even all right. We will be picking back up with the party as they leave Ascenthios and travel through the woods again. So, who is leading?
I probably would try to stick up to the front because, I have the nature-y background.
All right. Go ahead and roll a survival check for me.
14.
So, you begin to make your way through outside of the clearing that encompasses the front area of Ascenthios and circle around the woods all around you. And these are definitely some thick woods. Immediately around Ascenthios is not so bad. They've definitely cleared it out a bit. But as you get back into it, you're reminded of the 19 days it took for you to get here. A little bit easier now that you're not having to clear a path as much for Anvil and the cart, but definitely a couple of times as you're traveling through, a branch or two might smack Auric in the arm as you're trying to slowly make your way around.
It just deflects off of my armor.
That 19 AC. Is there anything else that you guys want to be doing as you're making your way, like, towards where Celisar told you to go?
I'm going to keep my eye out for some of those elemental fungi. Probably that's not far in enough to the forest, but, never hurts. Or elementals themselves.
Make a survival check.
I'm focused on blazing a path for us.
Yep.
I'll keep an eye open for any kind of danger.
Okay. Perception check from Auric. Nissa?
I'm mostly, keeping up with Elean, but at some point I'm gonna, drop back and just speak to Leuven.
Okay. So, Leuven's starting to look around. I'll get the checks first really quick. Leuven?
14 survival.
Okay. Auric?
21 perception.
Okay. So this is all happening, as you guys are looking around, so I will jump into what those mean in just a minute. But go ahead, Nissa.
Okay, so I drop back a little bit and kind of just fall into stride next to Leuven. Probably looking, really awkward. And she'll just be like, hey, Leuven?
Yeah?
I just wanted to, thanks for what you did when we were traveling here. I might not be here if it wasn't for you, so, thanks.
Likewise, finger guns. That orc would have dropped me without you, so...
Cool, no problem. I just wanted to say thanks.
Glad to help.
Embarrassed look on face, back up to where Elean is.
Awkward.
Yep.
Okay. So, Leuven, looking around, you see many different types of plants, but none of them definitely have any sort of, elemental properties as far as you can tell. This place is full of all different flora and fauna, though, so you're confident, if you spent more time here, you might be able to find some good stuff. Auric, looking around as you're kind of traveling through, you notice up in two things. The first is up in the trees, a really large snake kind of coiling around a branch. Because you noticed it, you guys can start to kind of circle and avoid it a little bit. It seems like it's trying to look for some sort of prey.
I will point this out to the group.
I will make a path accordingly to avoid.
Okay. Snake's just looking around, and after a few minutes, you kind of see it slow, creepily, start to climb up higher into the tree and the branches. The second thing you notice with your 21 is you can just barely see it, but kind of off into the distance, seems to be keeping an eye on you. You see what looks like a tiger. It's not approaching. You don't see it hunched down like it's about to attack, but it seems to be eyeing you guys.
I will point this out to the group and keep an eye on it.
Approximately how far away?
It's a good 80 feet.
80 feet?
Roughly.
How close am I to the rest of the party? Am I in...
You guys are all together. I'm assuming you're looking at and studying things as you're moving.
So, with Nissa and Elean up at the front, I kind of just pull out a healing draught, and I'm like, psst, one of you should hold on to this.
Who takes it?
Nissa, do you want to take it, or do you want me to?
I don't mind.
Okay.
So, Nissa, you have a healing draught for about the next hour or so. You will have it.
Okay.
And I do quickly explain, yeah, by the way, that's gonna break down, the elements and stuff. They're kind of unstable, so you can only drink one every 8 hours, and it'll disappear after 1 hour, but you're fine. It's totally safe.
I'll take your word for it. Thanks.
You were unconscious at the time that Leuven used this lasso.
Yep.
Though you did see him drink once.
Yeah.
Is the tiger making any sort of noise, or just watching?
Roll perception. Actually, roll nature.
5.
Oh.
Because based off your perception, the only reason you kind of see it is because Auric pointed it out. It is very quiet.
Okay.
So, how lush is the...
It's pretty thick. It's a pretty lush forest. It was tough coming into here, and the farther you've gone into the Rigorum, it's gotten thicker and thicker.
Mm-hmm.
So it's difficult to move about. You're having a lot of trouble with your armor, especially as you're moving about. I mean, you're able to get through because Elaine's kind of plowing the course, but there's a lot of points where, you smack against a tree or you hit a root or a branch smacks your side. Not enough to any hurt you at all, but it's definitely you're pushing through.
So what I want to try and do, you said the tiger is 60 feet away?
80.
80. Okay. I want to keep an eye on it, and if it gets within 60 feet of us, I want to have Sacred Flame cast on a spot right next to it to just try and scare it off.
I believe you have to pick a target, but let me...
I guess it says one creature.
Oh, yeah, you have to actually target a creature. So, unless you want to target a specific creature, there's not much you can do with that. Though, right now, as you're all traveling through, you do hear all sorts of smaller animals, creatures moving about the woods around you, and chittering and chirping sounds.
Tony.
Yes?
So I have the ability to understand what they're saying.
Yes?
Do I pick up anything? Like, they're saying, run, flee!
As you guys are moving through, he says, big things, move!
Probably referring to us. Okay.
Yes. That's the impression you're getting as they're like, oh, big thing, big thing.
Okay.
From the birds, you're mostly getting like, it's like, huh, weird. Where are they going? Where are they going? Where are they going? Is there food over there?
Sun, shine.
Mine?
Ooh. Mine?
Basically.
Okay. I would just keep kind of, plotting the course and then also like trying to listen to them a little bit as we continue, just in case they start changing their tune, going, very big thing, or, ooh, what is that? If they change their questions or ramblings.
Okay.
I want to study the tiger so bad, guys.
And I want to paint it.
So you guys continue moving onward, and you notice like the whole way through, the tiger kind of keeps an eye on you. Stays at about 80 to 100 feet at all times, though. You don't see it actually get closer. But you continue to make your way, and after a while you find that copse of trees that Celestar had pointed out, and you know that you're nearly there. You begin to approach. You hear kind of a river ahead of you. And Auric, based off of your check, and because Elean is listening to the animals, you kind of hear a little ways off to your northwest. Elean, you hear, big, scary, run! Auric, you see movement in the trees off to your, not the trees, in the brush off to your northwest.
I will point this out to the group and kind of be at the ready with my hammer and prepared to cast a sacred flame if something comes like charging through. If something big, scary, and looking to do us harm charges through.
I would hold up like a hand just to like motion for them to like pause for a second and then kind of point in the direction. I heard the creatures changing their tune, so to speak, and just kind of motion like that way and look over my shoulder just to kind of gauge, are they okay with going? Like, does that seem, anybody else picking up anything sort of look?
You notice Auric is definitely attentive to that area.
Got it. Quietly, I will turn to your, there is definitely something that way.
It seems to be just on the other side of the river that's ahead of you.
Awesome. Can we see the river?
Yes, you guys are coming up. You see the river kind of going across. There's a large, thick branch that kind of crosses it. The river itself is not very deep. There's a small, like, incline down to it, but...
About how wide?
About 15 to 20 feet.
Okay, so it's not super wide either.
Nope.
Yeah, so I would point bridge, point where sound is, because I'm assuming they're a little bit off from each other.
Yeah, the sound is a little bit away. You see the bridge to more your north, like, a little bit to your right, and the sound's coming from, like, diagonally to your left.
Okay. Do you guys want me, or Nissa, would you like to go ahead a little bit and see if you can see anything more?
Yeah, you want me to go scout ahead a bit? Yeah.
You're the quietest of the bunch.
On it.
Okay. Nissa, go ahead and roll a stealth check for me. You're crossing the river, I assume. The bridge.
Yeah, I'd head that direction, yeah.
Okay.
20 total.
Nice. So you step onto the trunk that's kind of spanning across the bridge and walk across. It's pretty sturdy, so you feel a little bit more comfortable as soon as you step on. Begin to make your way around, and you see a little ways ahead, kind of all clustered together over something, potentially like some sort of animal. 6 orcs. They're all kind of clustered, and they are speaking in Orcish right now. One of them, you notice, is wearing ringmail and a shield and has a spear. He's furthest from you. The other 5 are all wearing hide, and you see javelins in their hands, and they're pulling the javelin out of some sort of creature.
Okay. I'm assuming they don't see me.
They've given no indication that they know you're there.
Okay. I will quietly head back to the group and inform them of what I've just seen.
Okay. Sneak all the way back.
6 orcs?
Yes.
6. They look like they're hunting.
How many did we take out before? Was it 4 or 5?
5.
5. Okay.
One was like a leadery one, and then there were 4 regulars, I think.
You said that they were hunting what looked like an animal?
They look to be... I couldn't tell what they were stood over. It looked like an animal. They've got javelins. One of them, Auric, has ringmail on. I thought you might like to know that information.
Good to know. Well, as long as they're not hurting other people, I see no reason to engage with them. unless absolutely necessary.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Okay, so do we want to just wait here till they pass, which we have no idea how long that could be? Or how far away did you say they were from the bridge, Nissa?
About 60 feet.
Okay.
60 feet into the woods.
Okay.
So almost, there's a little bit of a clearing just on the other side of the bridge, so that's about 80 feet total.
The problem is, if we start crossing that bridge, we're very open. Very easily spotted. Quick question, Tony, from where we're at, do we have an estimate about how far away we might be from Avelius?
It's already been just a little bit over an hour, so you know you're really close.
Okay, and do we know if it's from our current location? Do we have an idea if it's like directly ahead of us, to the left, or
It's
to the
directly north of you, so it would be straight across the bridge.
Okay. Looking up and down the river, does it look to get wider or narrower in either direction?
Roll a perception check.
23.
Okay. Looking to your west, it definitely widens up as you look to the east, to your right. It narrows briefly and then opens back up again.
How far away is the narrowed point?
About 200 feet.
All right, so I'll turn to the group. Perhaps instead of crossing at this bridge, there is a narrower spot a little bit down that way, which would do two things. One, we wouldn't be crossing quite in as much open or as close to the guys. And two, it is narrower, so it probably wouldn't be as difficult to ford across that way. Any objections?
How deep is it?
Well, I don't know. I haven't gone swimming yet.
Well, I mean, with armor, like, glances over at Oric.
I could definitely make sure he makes it across.
It's not very easy to swim in armor.
I've also got some, but I might be okay.
But I can also turn into an axe beak and walk across and then pull you across with a rope, if you guys are that worried about it.
Living is sold. You did it.
So everybody's on board with something along those lines?
Fine, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, the other alternative is waiting here for them to leave, or crossing the bridge here and high risk of being seen.
We could wait for a little bit, see if they move on, and if they don't, then go try the river thing.
My thought also is that if we wait here, and this is back the way they plan on coming, they could just walk right into us.
Good point. River it is, then.
Just thoughts.
Leuven?
He's already sold with the rope idea.
Okay, so-
Yeah.
Then if Oric has no objections, I'm assuming you guys are heading downriver.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Scuttle, scuttle, scuttle.
So you begin to make your way down. Oric, at this point you notice you don't see the tiger anymore. Not sure when Tiger left. But you begin to continue down and make your way over. Go ahead, Elaine, roll a survival check with advantage just as you guys are getting to this narrower embankment.
21.
Okay, so Elaine has no trouble kind of as you guys are going across. The river is pretty narrow at this point. It goes from about 15, 20 feet down to about 5 to 10 around this area. It is about 5 feet deep, so it's a little tricky, but Elaine standing in the water, she's able to kind of like help, Nissa and Oric particularly to get across fairly quickly. And because of the river itself making sound as it's rushing by, you're not making any sound, so no one's definitely picking up on you guys being around.
Would I could have done that just as Elaine, not as an axe beak, or...
Yes, as Elaine.
Okay.
Because you are 6 feet tall.
Because I'm a giant compared to you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, you're about shoulders and head above the water, basically. So you're able to kind of get to the deepest part as you need and help to pull everybody else across.
Okay.
Also, you're a really good swimmer, so.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys make it across, and now you need to go more northwest to get to where Avelios is supposed to be.
All right, so we're going to keep heading northwest now.
Before you do that, Nissa and Elaine, as you guys are crossing the river, like the strain of it, you're feeling that hit from yesterday kind of in your shoulder and chest a little bit. That wound, though healed, definitely left a mark, and you're kind of feeling the tension of it, the tightness as you're going across and straining those muscles a little bit. But you still make it across fine. So I would like everyone to please roll me one final perception check. Elaine?
17.
Nissa?
5.
She's wet.
Leuven?
Yep.
9.
Also wet.
Oric?
16.
Not quite as wet.
Okay.
You know who you are.
I'm busy checking on Oscar, okay? I'm worried about him after that river, alright? Just leave me alone.
Oh, yes.
Made sure he didn't
As you guys
drown.
are going across, you kind of hear some indignant
Rodents swim really good.
Sounds coming from Nissa's pocket.
Not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, they do swim really well, unless they're strapped into
In a
a pocket.
Exactly, yeah.
There is a brief moment you see, though, a small mouse on Nissa's head
Yeah.
as she's crossing the river.
Which Elaine would have probably seen Oscar before and know of him and just been like,
And they knows Oscar,
sorry, buddy.
her little pet mouse.
Yep. Little mini fist bump.
Tiniest of all.
Yep.
Leuven also checks his overcoat and all its various pockets to make sure nothing fell out. But
Nothing fell out, but you kind of have to, like, hold your stuff in and turn the coat inside out a little bit as water just dumps out.
okay.
So you guys are now a bit soaking wet, but in a much safer position as you begin to make your way across. Elean and Auric, as you're coming roughly in the direction that's, realigning yourself based off of changing where you cross the river, you think you see off into the distance what appears to be like a small building.
Okay. Does it appear to be house-like or tent-like?
Looks like a house. Definitely like, it's wooden construction, but you kind of see it like through the trees a bit.
Okay. I would, motion to, mostly probably to Nissa, because she's very short, and just be like, I think I see the house maybe that way, but we should still maintain cover as much as possible, because we don't know where those orcs are currently.
Wait, I've got water in my eye still. Hang on. Sorry. Okay, I'm good.
Now that she's pointed it out, you guys.
No,
can see.
yeah.
And I lift Nissa up and show her, see? Look. No.
Oh, there. Okay, got you.
Yeah, so continuing on, unless anybody has any objections.
Continuing on quietly.
Okay, so if you guys are moving stealthily,
Ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk.
I would like everyone to make stealth checks.
Yep.
I believe both Leuven and Auric have disadvantage.
Ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk.
So Auric,
It's a 9.
Leuven,
3.
Solid.
Wow.
Solid.
I really wish I'd had advantage, because then I could have had a 4.
nice,
know?
nice. Nissa
14.
and Elaine.
10.
Not great, guys.
No, we did pretty. It's thick brush. Like, I'm trying to clear it as best as can quietly.
I've still got water in my eyes.
Yeah, so Nissa, you're definitely the quietest out of everybody, but like every once in a while your saggy clothes kind of like catch on a branch and snap it.
Oops.
To hit the next 3 people behind it. Ting, 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 ting.
Auric, you just hear crunch, ching, crunch, clunk, clunk, crunch as he's moving about trying to be quiet. Elaine, you're moving pretty quietly, but you're definitely like crunching leaves and branches.
Trying to clear a path to make it better for the noisy ones.
There's a brief instant you hear like something snap and like crunch, 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 crunch as you notice like Leuven's foot caught on a root and he his like half slams into a tree with his like armor just making so much noise.
Yeah, at one point, I think Elaine would turn around and be like, guys, your freaking mule is quieter than me. Put him in a cart.
You didn't know that Anvil was a stealth mule?
Apparently, compared to you two, jeez.
Can you guys not smith quieter equipment?
Smithing is for taking hits, not being quiet.
Why can't it be both?
Because dwarven steel needs to make its presence known.
I'm sorry I asked.
Hey, my friends, this really isn't the time for this. Let's keep going.
I'm sure they know we're here already, if there's somebody here. As she, like, dagger eyes to you, Leuven.
You approach and you do see the house is a little bit more of a clearing. There's still some trees about as you kind of come up to the outer area.
I think I would stop at kind of the edge of the clearing, not actually go into the clearing, and just hunch down, make myself as small as possible for a moment, and just watch to see if there's anything or anybody else moving around in the clearing or around.
Roll a perception check. Anyone else who wants to do the same can. You all see Elaine just kind of like hunched down low. What'd you get, Elaine?
21.
Nissa?
18.
Leuven?
Total of 20.
Auric?
I got a 10.
All right. You guys are all looking around, and you hear the normal animals and creatures and all that. Elaine, one thing you do notice, like, you hear the animals, but there's no animals in this clearing. You and Leuven, however, also notice, like, the leaves on the ground seem more placed than scattered.
Like they're covering something.
It's a trap!
Possibly.
Elean would hold up a hand, point to like the area where I see the leaves. Which, how far away is that?
The house itself is about 60 feet from you guys. The first one, the closest one to you guys, is about 10 feet into the clearing.
Okay, so I point kind of to the leafy area, see if anybody else notices it, and nods or shakes their head.
Leuven is nodding.
Yep, wow. Yeah, there's a lot of those.
Trap, I'm thinking. Is there a decently sized rock or log nearby that I could pick up and throw?
Looking around, you can find something that can, like, a good size fit to in your hand that you could toss.
Okay, I'm gonna toss it onto the spot.
Make a general strength check.
An 8.
Okay. You hit right next to it. Not quite.
Maybe you should try a dagger.
Only if you don't want the dagger back.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking, weight? It needs weight?
Well, Nissa, aren't you good at investigating traps?
At times, yes, I have my moments. In fact, maybe I could pull my mage hand and have it go take a peek.
Okay. You cast Mage Hand?
Yep.
All right.
I'll have it go over and just, maybe push on the leaves or something like that.
So you focus your arcane energy and you're just shifting the leaves?
Yeah.
Okay. You kind of brush them aside a little bit. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand.
Okay. 17.
Okay. You're able to brush them aside, and as you do, you notice a small, what looks to be like a pressure plate, and sharpened jaws on either side. It is a hunting trap.
Ooh. Yep, hunting trap. Do I leave it? Do I disarm it?
You can just leave it and just walk around it.
I will say, you guys do notice there is a path through the area. Like, it's not everywhere, so you could just move
Is
around
the
them.
path covered in leaves?
There's lots of leaves, but, like, specifically Leuven and Elean have noticed, like, small, like, spots that are definitely more bunched up.
If anything attacks us here, this could work to our advantage.
Yeah, it could also work to our disadvantage.
Well, we're not trying to attack the guy. We're trying to make friends with him.
I mean, like the orcs or the tiger.
Or anything else.
We know where they are. They might not.
Yeah, okay. Do we want to just go ahead and approach the house then? Do we all want to approach, or do we want to have one of us approach? How you guys want to do this?
Maybe our most charismatic person should approach.
And that would be...
I raise my hand.
Alright. Then, Leuven, do you feel comfortable going alone, or do you want one of us to go with you? Do you want all of us?
I can get you back.
I don't see why we shouldn't all go. I'll lead the way. Sure.
Okay. So I think it'll going out of the woods towards the house would probably be Leuven, Auric, and then Nissa. Do you want me to be in the back?
Yeah, you take the back.
Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah, I got your back, buddy.
Thanks.
Okay. So you guys begin to make your way, thanks to Leuven knowing where the traps are. You're able to kind of serpentine your way around what initially, like, to you, Auric, and Nissa seems to be a random pattern, but you trust that Leuven knows what he's doing. As you guys approach, you come up to the door of having avoided all of the hunting traps.
I'll just knock.
Okay. As you do, the first rap on the door, you just hear a little as the door kind of angles slightly open.
Good evening. I'm Leuven Cromdell. These are my companions, Auric, Nissa, Elean.
There's no one there.
Oh.
You kind of able to peek through the opening, and you realize the door wasn't latched.
Can I look at the door jamb to see if maybe it had been forced open?
Roll investigation.
I am not even looking at the house. I am surveying the area around us while they're doing this, by the way.
Roll perception.
I got a 10 on my investigation.
And perception?
19.
So looking at the door jamb, it doesn't look like it was broken in any way. Doesn't look like it was busted in.
Did the door only open just very slightly?
Currently, yeah, you can just peek inside.
I'd probably still have mage hand up, so I'd maybe use it to send it to open it a little bit further.
Okay. Before that, so staying around, Elean, you're kind of looking, don't see anything, don't hear anything. Seems pretty clear right now.
Are the animals still chattering?
They're chattering, but there's definitely none approaching the clearing.
Okay, and their tune hasn't changed. It's still just the normal
Yes.
chatter. Okay.
Like Disney music background sounds.
Yeah.
Okay, so you inch the door open a little bit more. The house itself, by the way, is very plain, very simple wooden construction. And you start to inch it open, and you see a small hallway heading off as you kind of inch it open a little bit more. There's a door along the wall to your left on the inside. It looks like a hallway that veers left a little past that. And then another hallway that veers off to the right a little ways past that.
Does it look like the place has been turned over or anything? Or look like there was any kind of altercation?
Currently, you're just seeing a hallway.
But we don't see like a massacre scene inside.
There's not a bloody body sprawled across the
Okay.
Yet. I mean, what?
What?
Don't worry, that's when the orcs... I mean,
What? I'm keeping an eye out.
I know.
I'll gesture to Luven and say, should we call out and see if he's home?
Hello?
As it echoes off the walls of the small home, there is no response.
Okay, as they're doing this, I'm still surveying around behind us, around the clearing and everything, watching for people.
Looking around, you still see nothing really moving around.
We should probably investigate to make sure there's no signs of foul play. Salazar was worried because she hasn't heard from him in a while. There could be a clue here as to why.
We should probably do it quick, though, because if he's paranoid and he sees us snooping around his house, then, you know.
All right, are we all going in, or do you want one of us to stay outside?
Split up? What?
I'm just saying I would stay outside, like, at the front door. Real quick, how big is the house?
About 35 by 35.
Oh, that's not big.
Yeah. I didn't imagine it was huge. It's not he didn't say a mansion. He said a house.
No, it's like a small little place. Hunting lodge kind of deal.
Got it.
I will stay at the front door if you guys want to go look around real quick. That way, if maybe the owner, assuming it's still Avelios, returns, I can hopefully stop him from, jumping to conclusions.
I suppose that works.
Cool, let's do that.
Okay. So, are you standing outside by the front door?
Yeah, I would stand like right at the doorway with the door open though.
Okay.
So that if they say, "Hey, things are going down," I can run inside. But my back would be to the open door as I'm looking out at the clearing still.
Okay. So, three of you walk in. Where are you headed? There is the door to your left. There is the hallway a little ways past that veers left. And then there is what looks to be a more open area all the way at the end, and then it veers slightly to the right around a corner.
I just had a thought. If we know this person is paranoid enough to set up traps outside, there could be traps inside. I'm going to try and detect if there's anything magical around.
Okay. 10 minutes?
Yes.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
Watching.
Okay, yeah.
You're just gonna wait? Okay. So, you're focused, and 10 minutes go by as Elean watching the outside, everyone else just kind of waiting, and you release your spell. You don't get any magical pings from here.
Could I take a look to see if I would recognize anything that may potentially be a trap or trapped?
You can roll investigation.
I'll attempt it as well.
15.
Okay.
10.
Okay. Leuven, definitely don't see anything. Nissa, from where you are, you think you see something's off about where the handle of the door to your left is.
Okay.
Something's different, like it's
Touch
you see a keyhole and all that, but
Touch it.
Could I... You touch it.
No, I'm looking outside.
Could I get my mage hand to go and investigate it?
checking it, something mechanical's there.
I will step away from that door while she is investigating it.
So, are you going to attempt to disarm it from where you're at?
Yes, I will attempt.
Okay, go ahead and roll a Thieves' Tools.
20 total.
Alright, as the mage hand holds the tools, it focuses, and after just a moment, you hear like a little bit of a click sound, and kind of popping out of the keyhole, you see a thin needle kind of drop to the ground.
And while the mage hand is there still, I'll get it to just push the door open.
Okay, so you push the door open. Are you guys moving up to it?
I will. I'll go and take a peek.
Okay, so taking a quick look up, you look in and you see a fairly plain bedroom. Very plain bed, a small chest of drawers that is open and completely emptied. It's been completely tossed about.
Oh, so disappointing.
Is it looked like the lock on the chest was forced open?
You're walking into the room too?
Yeah.
Okay. Doing a quick check, yeah, it's been broken.
Okay. Somebody rummaged through here. I wonder if there's any other signs. Does it look like the entire room was kind of tossed? Like maybe they pulled off the sheets trying to search under the bed?
The whole place has been tossed about.
Okay.
You see the mattress is actually torn open.
Wow.
The pillows are ripped apart. Like,
They went all in.
Yep.
I'm still outside, so I'm just keeping an eye.
I mean, you heard Oryx say it looks like they're searching for something.
But I'm not going to go in. I'm going to stay outside and keep an eye out for things.
We should probably check some of the other rooms, see if there's any hints as to what happened here.
Yeah. This doesn't look like the owner leaving in a hurry. This looks like somebody else was here.
I go into the other room nearby on the left side.
So you go down the small hallway?
I was going to say, before you open any doors, we know that the place has been booby-trapped.
Wait a second. You guys just went in there, and you guys just came back out.
Yeah.
As you're coming out, you guys said the room was tossed,
Yes.
but it was still locked.
It's a locked door, mister.
I didn't say it was locked.
You didn't say it was
I said it was
locked.
trapped.
Oh, but it's still trapped.
It was trapped.
Is there any other way into this room?
There was a small window.
Could I check to see if the window is open or closed?
Currently, it's closed. Since you're actually looking at it, there is a lock to the window to keep it shut, and it is busted.
Okay. I will point that out to Auric.
Good to know. Good to know.
So, Leuven, you went down the hallway to the left, and you find another door there that's
Is it closed or open?
closed.
Oh, okay.
Before you jiggle the handle, lad, should probably have Nissa inspect it to make sure there isn't any chicanery like the last one.
Sure. Let's take a look. And I will also take a look.
You're both inspecting the door?
Yep.
Roll investigation. Leuven, what'd you get?
12.
Nissa?
23.
Leuven, you're inspecting the door. Nissa, as you're inspecting the door, you notice a small pipe that leads in, and you can kind of see, tucked away in the keyhole, a small canister of something.
Ooh.
Danger, Will Robinson.
Ooh. Does it look as though if I could use Mage Hand to disarm this?
Now that you know that it is there,
Yep.
you could use Mage Hand to disarm it.
Yeah.
Part of the thing with investigation is you have to physically see it, and then the
Okay.
Mage Hand can do the rest.
Okay. I will do that then.
Okay. Are you backing up?
Yes. And I'd have put my arm out kind of in front of the door just in case Leuven was like, yeah, it's fine, let's just go in, yeah.
Wait.
No,
Whoa, 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 whoa.
At hearing it say canister of something, being an alchemist, Livin's taking that seriously and backing up too.
Okay.
This is like, you can look at it afterwards. Hold on.
All right. Thieves' tools check.
Okay. 19.
Okay. Takes a moment. You focus and are able to loosen the piping away. After another moment, you kind of loosen the canister and are able to slowly slide both pieces out and away.
Bomb diffused.
Good job, team.
Now you can look at it, Leuven, if you wish.
Hey, yeah, can I see that canister?
Do you give him the canister?
Yeah? With Mage Hand.
So, drops this little canister into your hand. Roll investigation.
I'm still standing outside. Any changes?
So far, nothing's different.
Okay. I'm just keeping an eye, like my head's on a swivel, going back and forth. I'm still listening to the birds and the bees chattering,
Whoa.
Go ahead and roll one more perception check for me. Just investigation from Leuven.
8.
Oh.
It's a canister. Probably has some sort of liquid or gas inside it.
I'm gonna hold on to this. I pocket it.
Okay. What was your perception check?
20.
Nice.
I will get to you on that in a minute. This is basically just over the course of the whole time that you
Yeah, I figured.
So. All right. What are you guys doing?
I will Mage Hand push the door open and take a peek
Okay.
in.
Inches open. It is unlocked. You guys look inside, and you see several empty cages, as well as half-used and torn up and destroyed plants. You notice a couple of books that many of are tossed open. There's a bunch that were tossed to the floor. Even some of the tables in the room have actually tossed to the side and shifted and moved.
Could I go and take a look at the books?
Roll investigation. What are the rest of you doing? Leuven?
The books really interest me too. I'm gonna walk up and take a look as well.
Roll investigation, Auric.
So these cages, do they look like they could have had animals in them?
Even taking a quick peek, yeah, it definitely looks like they've had some sort of small creatures in them at some point.
Does it look like if there were locks on it, were they like broken open? Like somebody released everything, or?
It seems that they were released, but the locks themselves aren't broken.
Okay. So the cages themselves are not damaged in any way.
They were kind of tossed about, so you see the bars are kind of bent from wherever they hit, but beyond that, no.
So does it look more like whatever was in them was let out or broken out?
Looks more like they were let out.
Okay.
So, investigations from Nissa and Leuven.
15.
8.
Nissa going through. He's got some stuff on different herbs in the area, but quick study, you don't notice anything of interest. Leuven, same thing, honestly. Like, you're studying through and you notice, like, some of them seems to be, like, notations of a couple of creatures that were here, like a velociraptor at one point. You notice a study of small animals and stuff like that. Some of them is an inventory count of, like, what's been here a little bit.
Okay, I think I'd pay particular attention to the bits on herbs. Just try and commit some of that to memory in case I come across it later.
Okay. You notice a lot of it deals with, like, potion making and such, so.
Yes.
So now the herbs and stuff that were in here, were they like cut herbs and were like stored in containers, or were they like in pots being grown in here?
There were a couple that are actually in pots. You do see some that had containers that were definitely cut, but overall, they're kind of like all scattered and tossed and cracked across the ground.
Okay. I'm trying to get like a sense if there was, like, if whoever came in here was searching for something in particular and they may have torn it out of a pot or removed it from a container and there's signs of something like that.
Roll investigation.
I got a 4 on my investigation.
Oh.
Pots are cracked. Vials are broken. This place was kind of really just tossed about. So throughout all this is taking you guys a good bit of time to kind of study all this. Elaine, by about this point, you do hear some of the critters outside kind of like, move away, big thing. And can see a little ways into the distance a tiger approaching the edge of the clearing, staying in the brush though, but waiting there.
So it would be about 60 feet from me.
Just over.
Is it hunched or is it standing?
Based off your perception check, I would say as you're kind of studying it, you notice like it's definitely not, it's trying to remain hidden for the most part, but it's not like crouch low as if it's
About to pounce.
hunting.
Okay.
It just looks like it's trying to keep to the brush.
I would definitely look at it and give like a nod of like recognition to it, but not say or do anything. Like I'm just standing there non-hostile at the front of the door, and I would definitely just kind of look at it and nod just like that note of like, I see you, buddy.
You see it lock eyes with you, and it nods slightly too.
I have thoughts. Okay. I wouldn't do anything if it's not approaching or anything. Okay. Otherwise, I would just kind of stand there because they're inside still doing stuff. And I'm not going to raise an alarm yet.
All right. So what are the rest of you guys doing?
I guess maybe moving on to the next room.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Cautiously.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys move up. This door is open.
Is it forced open?
Taking a quick look at it, does not appear to be so. Would you like a more in-depth look at it?
I would, in fact.
Roll an investigation.
Yeah, same here, because if the other two doors were open, that's an interesting correlation.
I rolled garbage. 6.
And Leuven, what'd you roll?
13.
Studying it, doesn't look like it was forced open. You guys are able to peek inside, and it looks like a small kitchen. Table. It's got the remnants of some food. It actually kind of stinks in here. It seems like some stuff has been sitting here maybe for a little bit.
Can we get any sense of the amount of time based on the decomposition of the meal?
You're entering the room?
Yes. Cautiously.
You're into the room? Cautiously.
Nissa, I'm assuming you're following?
Yep.
Okay. So roll a general investigation check on the food to get a sense for how long it's been here. What are you doing, Nissa, as you're kind of entering? You see Oryx studying the food.
I will take a look around, just check for anything mechanical, anything out of place, anything troublesome.
Okay, roll investigation.
It's an 8. Again.
Okay. Leuven, what are you doing?
I'll go help whoever seems to be struggling more.
That's Auric. He's struggling.
What'd you roll, Auric?
I rolled a 3.
Oh.
It looks all around everybody's kind of like frustrated and struggling a bit.
Looking at the food, then.
Okay, roll investigation.
10.
Okay. Based off the rolls of investigation on the food, it's been a couple days, maybe? You're not 100% sure. Based off the roll of the investigation, Nissa, you're looking around. The smell, though, that's... there's some meat there that's gone bad.
Ugh.
It's a little distracting.
I'm not seeing anything great in this room, and the smell's really bad. Shall we move on? Ugh.
Yeah, I think we've seen it all now, right?
Well, do we notice anything else in this? You said it's like a kitchen area?
Make one more perception check, Auric, as you're just kind of like looking around.
14.
Okay. You're looking around, and this room's not tossed. This room is perfectly fine. There's something's off. Something's basically like scratching at the back of your head.
Something seems amiss here. All the other rooms were tossed, but this one wasn't. I can't quite put my hammer on it, but something is amiss.
So it's almost like someone or something broke in looking for something specific. That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Something about this area in particular seems off.
Are there cupboards or anything like that in this room?
Oh yeah, tons.
Should I use my mage hand to open up some cupboards?
Okay. As you're going through, you start to open, one after another. One of them is locked.
Oh, I'd like to open that, please.
She is all excited. I want to open that.
Roll Thieves' Tools.
Is it like one of those child locks for cabinets to keep kids out?
What'd you roll?
Garbage. I rolled 9.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not
I keep
one of the
rolling
plastic-
3. I'm so tired of 3.
You're tugging on it, and you think you're close, but it's not quite getting there.
You said it's a lock?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try with my thieves' tools.
Roll it.
Okay.
Well, he has to be up close.
10.
Okay. That last little bit, Nissa, you're pretty sure you must have, been holding something for him, but you just hear the little click.
I loosened it for you.
Good job.
Yeah.
So, you open up the cupboard, and there is a hole in the floor.
What? How big is the hole?
Any one of you guys can, just fit in it. It might be a little bit of a squeeze, but Nissa would be fine.
Guess who's going first?
I was gonna say, can I peer down it with my dark vision and see if I see anything?
Yeah. You just look down, and there's actually a small ladder right on the wall that you guys are looking at that proceeds down about 20 feet, and then there seems to be a small tunnel that leads away.
This looks like an escape route. I wonder if the owner managed to escape before whoever was trying to get in did.
we gonna go check it out?
This is too cool not to. I mean, let's go right now.
Should probably let Elean know.
I was gonna say,
Let's call Elaine, please.
just standing out, watching tiger.
Hey, Spider Girl!
What?
Found something. Get in here, please.
The tiger's back.
Tiger?
Oh.
That's unusual.
Yeah, we have an understanding.
Did you talk to the tiger?
No, not yet.
I'll just walk back over to her and explain about the hole that we found.
Instead of yelling back and forth across the house.
Yes.
As Ort comes around, Elaine would just kind of, generally nod her head in the direction of the tiger and just say, "It's been watching me the whole time."
Auric will do the 2 fingers to the eye and then point at it.
Roll perception for me.
Me or him?
Him. You can too, you're there.
16.
14.
Okay. You think you see a smile.
If a tiger could smile.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make some kind of wisdom check to see if this is normal behavior for a tiger, or if
That would be a
is...
nature check?
Uh-huh. I'd like to do one of those, or
Go
to
for
figure
it.
out if it is somebody or something else.
Would Elaine know that it's probably not normal behavior for a tiger?
Elaine would just intrinsically know because of all nature. This tiger's more intelligent than a normal tiger.
I rolled a natural 20.
This is not just a tiger.
That's not just a tiger, lass.
You think?
I do. I know. That's not just a tiger.
Well, as it's been following us, it has not been hostile to us, and it seems to be intrigued. Do we want to lead it to where we are going? What did you found everything inside, so what if...
We don't know much about the person that we're supposed to meet. What if he's one of them shapeshiftery peoples like you?
Druid is the term, and it's possible.
So I think Oric is just going to call out to the tiger. He's like, "Hey, tiger, I know you're not what you appear. Why don't you come out?"
Roll persuasion.
As Elean's just looking at you like, really?
Leuven, Nissa, real quick, what are you guys doing? As, like, you can hear them from the doorway.
Leuven's coming around as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go join them.
All right. What'd you roll?
I got a 9.
Okay. You see the tiger start to slowly back up, turn around, and proceed deeper into the brush.
I'm gonna yell out before he is completely out of sight. "Are you egos?"
There is no response.
Well, that went swimmingly. I guess you guys want to go down some tunnel?
We can send the gnome down first.
Hey! The gnome has a name.
She's nice and small and can fit through these small passages.
Fine.
I mean, you guys could all fit. It's just she would not have any issue with it. All right. You heading down the tunnel, gnome?
Yep.
Okay. Quietly or?
Quietly.
Where are you guys just going to wait at the top of the stair or the ladder?
I'm actually going to wait at the front door still until she kind of goes down and gets, like, we get an okay to start coming down. Just to keep an eye out for if Tiger comes back.
I'll wait at the top of the ladder.
Leuven?
I'll be nearby, probably in between.
Okay. All right. Nissa, roll your stealth check for me.
23.
Okay. So, Nissa, you begin to travel along this darkened passageway. It proceeds onward for roughly 60 feet and comes up to a small door. As you approach the door, that is slightly angled open, and inside you see flickering lights. As you kind of come up, a lot of herby smells kind of hit your nose. And as you inch around, you can see a small room. In it, a very tall figure dressed in a dark cloak is moving about and seems to be reading a book. And after a moment, tosses it to the side, flicks a thin, pale, four-fingered hand off into the corner where another book approaches him, seemingly by itself, which he brings to his hand and reads. In his other hand, you see him kind of fiddling with this small, glowing disc.
Do I have any idea what the disc is?
Make an Arcana check.
14.
You're not certain. It definitely seems to be magical in some way. Roll a perception check for me.
13.
Okay. After a little bit, you do occasionally hear some slight movement outside of your field of view. So you get the impression he's not by himself.
Okay.
How long are you staying?
Just a few minutes, just to kind of check on what he's doing, to get as much of a sense as I can of what he's doing, and maybe try and stay to see if I can see if there is somebody else in the room. But I don't want to stay too long. I'd want to get back to the group and let them know what's going on.
Okay. So you continue to watch, and after a few more moments, you notice a third hand come out as he starts to grab another book, and it seems he has several books in each hand, and he's reading and moving and reading and moving. And the fourth hand kind of casts off to the side. Again, another floating object. You recognize the mage hand from this angle this time as it approaches. You see kind of partially hidden another figure kind of on the other side of the table that seems to be looking at something. It's really hard to tell from this angle. Whoever it is wearing very dark clothing. You can't tell armor. It's definitely just like clothing of some sort. But as you continue to watch, you see a fifth and a sixth arm continue to move about as this thing is casting small mage hands like around the room as it brings books and items to itself and continues to flip through and look.
Oh boy. Okay, going back to the group.
And that is where we're going to leave this episode for today. Thank you all for listening. Please share this with your friends and follow us on Twitter @RulesAsWritten, or check out our website, dndraw.com, and feel free to email any questions to me at dm@dndraw.com, Also subscribe and leave us a review or comment anywhere podcasts are found. And please show your support for our show and check out our Patreon at patreon.com/DNDRaw. And I hope to see you all next time in the world of Ostia.